It's been 8 amazing months that I'm part of the YouTube community, sharing my knowledge, experience, and engaging with many of you out there on the subject how to become a cabin crew. Qatar Airways is known to be named the world's best airline 5 times. I have been part of that success for the all 5 times, and in this video, I'm gonna be telling you why I'm actually here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome on board my YouTube channel. My name is Julia George. I come from North Macedonia. I'm currently living in Germany and I'm an ex-cabin crew for Qatar Airways. I flew for Qatar Airways for the past 10 years, where I have resigned from my last work position as a cabin service director. In the previous video, I have shared with you how I became a cabin crew for Qatar Airways, and I have shared with you my application process from the time I decided to join the airline until my final interview. And I totally relevant to the previous video. I think it's the subject of why I have a YouTube channel. On one was the opening, one was the beginning of the chapter of my life as a cabin crew, and this one is the end of the chapter of my life as a cabin crew. And I think that both of them are really relevant to each other. Nevertheless, in between, my flying career is right here on my YouTube videos that I'm sharing with you, and how you can be successful in your recruitment process. So stay tuned until the last minute of this video to find out why I have a YouTube channel. So when I joined the airline and I became a cabin crew, obviously I was working in economy class before I progressed in the other level later on, which was a cabin crew in business class, later on cabin senior in economy, and a cabin service director, and overall in charge in flight purser, of course after the captain and the first officer, as a chain of command that is following Qatar Airways as just like the rest of the airlines in the world. So there was a girl from my hometown, and she called me to ask me how I became a cabin crew, to share with her my experience. So I took the time off that I was having a vacation, and I met her along with her mom, and I explained to her the entire process, just like the way I explained to you in the first video how I became a cabin crew, how I went out there with the CV in Macedonian, and that I had to print out the CV in English, and everything sounded amazing. And you know, when you hear a story that someone has passed through that story and it was not that strict for her, it was like kind of relaxing, she managed it, then you think like, okay, then perhaps I would be the same. Now that is why since the beginning that I started my YouTube channel, I have told you that whatever was my experience might not be the experience for you guys, because or ladies and gentlemen, the word that I would like to use, it's because we're all of us different individuals. We all possess our different characteristics, at the end of the day different qualities as candidates for the job position of a cabin crew. Therefore we cannot possibly be thinking and expecting that if we're lacking in the same areas as I'm lacking, perhaps that you also going to be successful. We're all emitting a different energy in first place. Qualifications, confidence, I've already mentioned these things. So having her explain my entire selection process without telling her the things that she should pay attention to at that moment, I completely forgot to think analytically the way I'm taught and the way I'm trained to do it. The way I'm taught to observe behavior, I also did not emphasize that. I just explained to her my application process, just like I explained to you in the previous video right here. And then she was excited, she prepared her CV, she went for the open day, and she failed. She was not successful during her open day. And that reflected in a way that she didn't talk to me afterwards. I contacted her a few times to ask her what were the things she was lacking, and she just simply didn't want to communicate with me because she failed and she was thinking that it's my fault. Now, also at a short period of time, I was thinking that it's my fault that she failed, and I came to the conclusion, yes, it's part of it, it's my fault, because I shared with her my experience. I didn't give her the format how to become a cabin crew in the proper format that it's needed. So that's the time when I started exploring and learning on how to become a cabin crew. Exploring and learning about recruitment as a process, very important for the candidates. I came up with the conclusion that I did something completely wrong, and that I should have actually present to her a format on how she can present herself better in order to be part of the cabin crew team within Qatar Airways. And I understood that actually, as I have mentioned, it was my fault. But the sad part over here was I never had the chance to fix my mistake and to actually approach her and give her, as she wasn't allowing to me. Later on, to whoever was contacting me through my Facebook account, through my Instagram account, I was sharing the tips in a way that I have my own format prepared, which is right here on my YouTube channel, and I have shared it literally all with you on what are the important aspects on how to crack the interview. I have a video over here, how to crack the interview, with all the things that I believe are relevant, how you should prepare yourself for the open day. And they all seem to work. I've got many of my friends who joined Qatar Airways with my help. I'm proud to say that. And also those friends of mine, I'm proud to say that they also came up with their own ideas, with their own mindset in which they helped other friends out there. So this is how we all were able to be a community of friends over there, to have a pleasant life, better life, and to actually enjoy the work environment we were in. So that, I think, it's very, very important. Going back to the subject, why I have opened my YouTube channel. Going back to the subject, why I have opened my YouTube channel. I always knew that I want to do that. I always knew that I want to help people, and I always knew that social media, Instagram, Facebook, the amazing YouTube are very useful tools that can be used in order people can benefit. I remember 11 years ago, more than 11 years ago, when I was applying to be a cabin crew, and I literally knew no one who is in Qatar Airways, and I was not following any YouTuber, no social media influencer on this subject on how to become a cabin crew in Qatar Airways. So my desire to know what's going to be next and what's going to be happening and how can I better present myself was endless. Those 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 weeks, irrespective of the time I was waiting to be recruited, were really hard at some points. I'll share with you a quick story. I was literally reading the emails I was getting, and let's say there will be someone signed down on the email, and I would literally Facebook and Google that name to see how that person looked like. I was having an enormous desire to contact that person, perhaps it was not that person that I was finding on Facebook, to tell me whether I'm gonna get any answer or not. Sometimes, I wouldn't say all the time, as in, for me, it was really, I was really prepared even if I don't get a positive answer, but sometimes in a moment of a desire to know what's gonna happen next, I needed a person to help me. I needed someone to tell me, and at least to guide me, at least to make me feel better, at least to tell me, you know what, I don't know your query, but don't worry, things will be okay, or this is going to happen at one point of time, you will know the answer, and stuff like that. So, that desire, as I said, at moments was really, really huge. It was really, really big. And the reason why I have this YouTube channel is actually to save all of you out there from that feeling and from that desire to look for the answer, to wait for the answer, to make that waiting time a little less painful, a little painless, as I wanted to say. Many of you, when you were texting me on my Instagram account, you're saying to me actually that you are texting so many cabin crew, but they don't reply to you. But remember, when we are cabin crew, and if I was a cabin crew at this moment, it would be hard for me to maintain the flying and to maintain social media, as both of them require dedication and require a lot of time. So I think that they don't reply to you, not because they have something against you, but they don't reply to you because they are very busy with their flying career, as it's a demanding career, quite a lot. And they're building up themselves, they're working to get progress in the job they are currently in. So don't take that personally. I have the time to reply to you, as this is my job at the moment. I'm a YouTuber and I'm a social media influencer on how to become a cabin crew for Qatar Airways. Nevertheless, my advices are all useful for all the Middle Eastern airlines. So having all these things said, I hope you are enjoying being on my YouTube and you're already a subscriber on my YouTube channel. If you're not, then this is the right time to join my YouTube channel, to subscribe for the many videos that are coming in future. Until then, stay blessed, bye bye, and have a nice day.